I'm not too sure what has happened in our modern day society. We as humans have advanced so far in technology, in things that we have created, invented, new ways of communicating online, large businesses. However, we have seemed to forget how to be nice to people. It feels like having manners, being kind to others in public, have been tossed out of the window while we have progressed so far in other areas. Social etiquette, what is that? So many people don't even know what that is now because they're just so rude, cut in lines when you're in public, they aren't caring, respectful. What has happened to us? Like a lot of us think that having etiquette, being kind, being respectful, just mean that like we can't be assertive when we talk to people, we can't set boundaries when we converse with other people, we have to stand for people that are being mean to us and just kind of like brush it aside. No, not at all. Having etiquette is such a foundation for when you're out in public, maybe in formal events, or maybe you're meeting a person that's of a high rank, or maybe you're just talking to a regular everyday human. It's so good for setting like strong, healthy relationships, whether that's romantic, whether that's very formal relationship, whether that's friends, family, whatever. It's just the basis of being respectful, being kind, and that still means if you do not like that they are doing something, they put you down in a certain way and you don't like it, you can say, hey, I don't appreciate when you do this because of this. If they want to continue doing that, then find new friends. You do not have to stand with being with people if you don't have to. If you have to, limit the conversations as much as possible. You can still raise issues if you are unhappy. However, you can also still be gracious and elegant in the way that you act when you're around other people in society, if you're at a restaurant, wherever, at your workplace. This can go on. Now, because so many of us do not behave in accordance of etiquette, having basic manners that come along with etiquette, it's essentially social norms that supposed to follow when we're in society. So when we converse with people, we are being polite and having respectable manners. For example, just the other day, I was at the shops with my friend and I'm at the changing rooms and we're waiting and I see these two women. Oh my gosh, they continuously like are going out of their changing rooms. One of them barely doesn't have the top on properly and is just walking up and down to show her friend. She's yelling at her friend when they're at two different stalls so everyone can hear the conversation. Their child is looking underneath the other people's stalls when they're getting changed. Now, it is all fine and dandy when you're out in public, you want to talk to your friend or whatever, but in that case, people are waiting for you to use the changing rooms. If you are yelling across each other, if you barely even have your top on properly when you're showing your friend and there's other people around, if you want to do that, go for it. But why? You live the life the way that you want to. But just know the way that you treat yourself, that is the way that other people are going to treat you too. You know how people say, treat others the way that you want to be treated? Treat yourself the way that you want others to treat you. Because if you are talking badly about yourself, you let people talk down on you, you let people be rude to you because you're just a people pleaser, people are not going to respect you a lot because you clearly don't respect yourself, you clearly don't value yourself. Why would people respect you and value you if you don't even value and respect yourself? It makes no sense. Being considerate and being inclusive when you're in a social setting, when there's other people around you. There have been so many times when I'm at a party or I'm in a group conversation and people are purposely being left out of the conversation. Two people are clearly closer with each other, but they're talking to each other way more and excluding everyone else. You're showing your phone to your friend but won't show it to the other person that is right there. Or you're talking about a plan in front of someone else when they're not even being invited to that plan. There have been so many times when that has happened to me. When I'm in a group conversation and they're all talking about something that's coming up for them and they're saying like how they're so excited for it. And I've just been like, why are you talking about this plan in front of me when I'm not even invited? That is so rude and that is so inconsiderate. If you can see that someone's being left out of the conversation, include them. If they can't hear what the other person has just said, just be like, oh, hey, Anna, you won't believe it, but Chloe just said this. What do you think about it? If you want to show something to your friends that you have on your phone, after you show one of your friends, just be like, oh my gosh, Emma, I didn't believe that you didn't see this as well. Here, look at this. I totally understand if you are closer with someone in that group than the rest of the people that are there. However, if you can see that someone hasn't clicked with everyone else, help them connect with other people. Don't let them just stand off to the side, twiddling their fingers, having nothing to do. That is so rude to purposely exclude someone. It does not feel nice. It makes them feel bad about themselves. Then not even you would be offer to include them in the conversation. And if you have nothing to say and you decide to bring up a plan in front of everyone else when other people aren't invited, or you feel the need to show someone in the group about something, but you don't want other people to know about it, then do not mention it at that time. Mention it at another time when they are not present so they don't have to be there and feel like they're walking in on something. Put away your phone when you're talking to people. I cannot tell you how many times I have been in a conversation with someone else, or like let's say I'm at a cafe with someone and they have their phone on the table and the phone immediately goes off and they grab their phone, look at it, put it down, or they're constantly looking at their phone, get distracted by something. That is so rude. Now, I totally understand if you have to take a call, if you have to respond to a message when you're out with someone. Obviously, that is a-okay. Let's say it's your work that's phoning and you need to take a call. That is totally fine and understandable, and I respect that. But if I have something to say to you and you're scrolling on your phone and you're clearly not interested in what I'm saying or won't even bother to listen, I'm not even going to bother to talk to you. If I'm driving you somewhere and you are on your phone and I'm like, maybe I want to say something to you and I realize that you're on the phone, I will say like, oh, hey, I see that you're on the phone, but when you're done like messaging, can let me know because I really want to tell you something. And then normally they're like, oh, I totally understand. I'm just finishing this message. What is it? What did you want to tell me? A lot of people may not even understand that they're being rude on purpose, but just raise it to them and being like, and like subtly mention it to them, or be assertive when you mention it, like, oh, I see that you're on the phone, but I'll say this when you're ready. It is so rude when you interrupt people. The only time you can interrupt them is, I don't know, like, oh, hey, just letting you know that the roof is falling down. I just wanted to let you know that so you guys can leave the building with us. There is never a time that you can stop someone else's conversation because apparently what you have to say is more important. Let them finish what they're saying and then you can talk to them. For example, if I'm waiting for my managers to finish talking to each other, I'm not going to stop the conversation because it is not respectful. They clearly have things to talk about. They can see that you're standing there and they will turn to you when they are available. They are clearly not available. Wait for them to finish. And this goes into body language, along with like putting your phone down and having attention onto the person that you're talking to. Have a straight posture. Use your hands when you're talking. Maintain eye contact. Show that you're clearly interested in what the other person has to say. Listen attentively. When they're saying something, listen to what they're saying. Don't listen to respond. You don't necessarily need to respond in the most smartest way possible. Of course, if you have an intelligent answer, that is great and all is well. But it is so much better if you do not know what to say to whatever they're saying. Just repeat what they're saying. Like, oh, so you like horse riding? That is great. Put it in your head. Oh, this person said this to me. Their mother's name is this. They told me this about their lives. And then maybe later when you're talking to them, bring it up like, oh, how was that event that you went to that you told me about? You said that you were so excited. How did that go? So you have something more to talk about and you can click. Doing these things is so key because especially when you're looking at someone, looking at them, especially when you're walking down in the mall, even if you're not conversing with other people, you're just looking at everyone, maintaining eye contact with them, that just asserts confidence. It shows that you are where you are meant to be. You have somewhere to go, you have a purpose, and you have a reason to be there. If you interrupt someone else when they are talking, just be like, oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying? And let them continue talking. If you both talk at the same time, it is so much more polite on your end to be like, oh, hey, like, well, what were you saying? We accidentally spoke at the same time. It is not attractive when you are trying to assert the whole conversation and only let yourself talk. It takes two to tango. If you are in a conversation with someone else, it goes bi-directional. You both have something to say. This person says something, then this person says something. But if this person hasn't finished their sentence, let them continue. It is so much more polite and so much more respectful. If someone has a habit of continuously interrupting you when you are speaking, some people are just like that. Maybe they always were in conversations with people who interrupt them, so they think that is normal. It is not normal to interrupt people when they are talking. If someone continuously interrupts you and they're like, oh, sorry, what were you saying? Be like, no, it's okay. So then they get in their head, oh, they really didn't like it when I was interrupting them. I won't do that again. And then if you continuously do that, then they will just stop doing that. You can be very subtle in that way, or you can just be straight up, hey, I really don't like it when you interrupt me. If you struggle to set these boundaries with people, say it to people that you're comfortable saying this to. For example, say it to the friends that you're really close with and are really easygoing, and send a boundary with them if you realize that there's something that you don't like. And if they go well with that, then maybe say it to the family member that is like really close to you, and then to send you very well, and they'll be like, oh, cool, I didn't know that you didn't like that. I'll stop doing that. And then eventually you gain confidence to do that even more with other people. One of the fastest ways that you can grow self-confidence for yourself and value yourself more deeply, when you set boundaries with other people and be assertive when you speak to them and be like, hey, I realize you do this a lot. I never said something before, but it really bothers me. If someone continuously does something to you and you let it slide every single other time, and then you mention something, they're going to be like, okay, well, why did you only say something now and let it happen for so long? It's going to be so much harder for them to break that pattern towards you. Use your manners. So many people cannot even do this. Please, thank you, excuse me, oh, I'm sorry. A lot of us can't even say this in a regular conversation. Now, I do have to agree, a lot of us in society tend to apologize way more than we have to. For example, if someone drops their pen, they'll be like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to drop my pen. That's fine. There are some things that we apologize for like no reason. But if you want to seem more like confident when you're talking to people, if you drop something on the floor and they grab to pick it up for you, just be like, oh, thank you doing that for me, instead of, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You exert so much more confidence. But also at the same time that a lot of people say sorry, a lot of people don't even apologize nearly as much as they're supposed to. If you hurt someone's feelings, say, I'm sorry for doing this. I didn't mean to hurt you. If someone does something nice for you, oh, thank you, that was so sweet of you. If you really want something, please, can I have this? If someone's in the way and you want to get past, just like, oh, excuse me, I just need to get through. You can be so respectable in these circumstances. But a lot of people can't even be respectful and be kind. Basic respect and what? Oh, that was my fingernails on my hair. I was like, what is that? For example, when you are on the plane, if you are in middle class and you recline your seat, all is well. You can recline your seat as much as you want to. But if you can see that the other person behind you is really struggling to get past, or there's meal times or takeoff and landing, put your seat back up. Basic manners, stuff like that. If you want to recline your seat and they are awake and not asleep yet, then just only recline your seat just a little bit so you are comfortable and the people behind you are comfortable. You cannot just be inconsiderate and rude. Of course, put yourself first. However, it is not nice when you clearly don't respect other people around you and value their space. Because if you want other people to value your space and respect your space, you have to respect their space. It is all about being self-aware and respecting personal boundaries, and everyone has their like bubble around them. If you accidentally touch someone and you can see that they clearly didn't like it, like if you accidentally touch their arm or whatever, it's like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that, and normally you like laugh it off or whatever. Because some people don't like physical touch and some people do, and everyone comes from a different culture and you need to respect their culture. Some people may not like it if you give them a kiss on the cheek after you hug them, but in some cultures it's very nice to kiss on like both cheeks when you hug them. If you just want to have a very formal greeting, just shake their hand. You don't have to hug them if you don't want to. But if you can see that they clearly didn't like whatever you did, then apologize and then just know for next time it's best to not do that again. We just lack self-awareness and we are just so mindless these days. We yell when we're talking to other people and we laugh super loud. Okay, it's obviously okay if you're having a dandy old time, but when you're in public, respect that there's other people around you and other people want to like be able to hear the other person that they're talking to. Now, if you have to go to an event, present yourself nicely. Be proud of how you look. Dress in whatever way that you want that abides by the dress code. I'm not saying don't express yourselves, and don't dress how you want to. I'm all for dressing the way that you want to, but know when's the time to dress up and when's not the time to dress up. Know when there's like a time that you want to wear like a flashy outfit and when there's a time that you shouldn't really do that. It is all by knowing what event you are going to, what is going to be that the event. Are you going to have to be active? Is there going to be a lot of sitting? Is there going to be a lot of dancing? Is there going to be a lot of respectable people there and you have to be more conservative? Be aware of these things. I understand in some cultures it is a-okay to be late when there's a party or there's an event or you have to go to someone's house or whatever. It depends for any circumstance and whatever. For example, in the French culture, they tend to arrive later so the host can like just set up the last little things and not be super stressed. However, you clearly know that you need to be there on time. Be there on time. If someone asks you to go on a date, respect their time. Value that other people have things to do in their life. People have obligations that they need to attend to, and sometimes they make space for you. But if you can't even be on time, that is so rude. You can't just say, hey, let's meet up at this time, and then you show up half an hour late. If you are running late to something, tell them in advance. Let them know that you are going to be late. Or if you cannot make it to an event, let them know. Be like, hey, I apologize, but I really can't make it to this event. I really wanted to go, but something really important has come up, which I cannot miss. But if you really don't want to go to an event, or your friends want to go out and you don't want to go out, don't lie and be like, oh, hey, like, I wish I could go out, but I'm just going to stay inside today. Of course, your friends are going to be like, no, come out with us, like, get out of the house, even if you really wanted to stay home. Be honest. If you do not want to go out, just be like, hey, I really don't want to go out tonight. I really want to stay home and have a night for myself. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to watch some TV, have a bubble bath for myself. But you guys enjoy yourself and let me know how it goes. And they're going to be like, oh, okay, she really doesn't want to come with. Enjoy your night. That is so much a better way to like handle yourself. But if you set a time to meet somewhere, be on time, be punctual. And if you respect other people's time, people are going to tend to respect your time as well. People are going to respect you so much more. And that goes with work. If you're accidentally running late, let your managers know that you're running late. I apologize, there was a traffic jam, but I'm going to be there in 15 minutes. But also just know, if you are one of those people that tend to be more later and you keep on apologizing, promising change, and there's not change, people are going to expect very less of you. They know that you don't deliver on your promises if you say that you're going to be somewhere at a certain time and then you're not there. But like I said, it just depends on the circumstance, it depends on the event, it depends on the culture. But in general, as a general rule, be on time. It is so much more nicer. Or if you want to have a little bit of leniency, arrive maybe 5 to 10 minutes late. Anything after that is just, why are you late? Now, another thing, being patient and letting things flow. Do not force things. If you can see that someone wants to walk away from a conversation, let them go. Be very relaxed. If you are waiting in line, don't cut in front of other people. That is so rude and inconsiderate. If someone's there and you just go past them, that's a big no-no. For example, you have a partner and they're picking up food for you and they say they're going to pick up food for you. Be patient. You know that the food's going to come and you're not going to force it. They're going to come whenever they come. And just be very relaxed. If someone says that they're going to do something, trust in them. But anything after that, if they say they're going to do something and constantly they don't deliver, know that, okay, they are not very trustworthy. But be patient. If someone says they're going to do something and they tend to always deliver on their promises, trust them and be patient. Anything other than that, just know that they're not a very reliable person. Chew with your mouth closed when you're in public, when you are eating. It is so rude. No one wants to see your chewed up food or uneaten food in your mouth. It is very gross. It is not very nice. Wait till you finish eating before you say something. Or if you really want to talk, try not to talk when you're with your hand over your mouth. Wait till you're done eating because you want people to actually hear you properly. When you cover your mouth, that's going to block communication. They're going to struggle to hear you. Finish eating. No one wants to hear you chew with your mouth open. It's so much more louder. Obviously, when you close your mouth, no one can hear the noises as loudly. It reduces the noise significantly. Use correct grammar and punctuation, and communicate clearly when you're talking to another person. If you're writing up an email to your boss, to your university, whatever formal event, to a very respectful person, high positioned person, make sure that your grammar is correct. Make sure that your wording is very direct and not open ended. When you're writing an email, do not say, "Does this make sense?" Make sure you say something like, "If you have any further questions, let me know, contact me on this number." People are gonna look you at way more respectable because they know that you know what you're talking about. You're not doubting yourself when you're talking, and your communication is very clear and very direct and assertive. You're using these words that are more elegant, more gracious. And that also goes for making sure that you like don't swear when you're in public. Obviously, when you're with friends and you're joking around and you're swearing or whatever, be careful. If you're in a very professional setting and you swear, it depends whatever career you work in and stuff like that. But people hear the way that you talk to others, about others, how you talk to them. What you say and how you deliver it is very important. If you're swearing left, right, and center, people are not going to look you in a very high regard. So be very careful about this. Making sure that you hold the door open for people that are behind you. It is so nice and polite when someone leaves the door open for you when they can see that you're like quite close. Obviously, when they're far away, you're not going to open the door because then they have to do like an awkward jog to get to you. But if you see that someone's close by and they need to get through the door, open the door for them and close it behind them. And it's very kind because you're clearly aware of their presence and you are acknowledging their presence. Also, I understand if you're in a conversation with someone and you really need to get out of that conversation. Maybe the conversation is quite dry and you need it and you want to politely excuse yourself. Obviously, you can tell the other person that you need to be somewhere, but be polite about it. If they're talking about something that you don't want to really talk about, direct them to someone else. Say like, "Oh, Chloe, like I really want to talk to this other person. I haven't greeted them yet, but have you spoken to Anna? Like Anna would love to meet you," and then you introduce those two and then you walk away. Or for example, if someone's at your house and you need to continue on with your day, just be like, "Oh, do you have much on for the rest of the day?" Say what you have on for the rest of the day. Maybe they are also busy, but that's your like opening to be like, "I'm really busy later on in the day. I have this obligation." You mention when you're going to meet up with them again. Be like, "Oh, it was really great catching up with you. Could we meet again like this time, this place? It was great to see you." And you leave it at that like notion of you want to go or the conversation's ending here. You don't have to be rude about it. It's all about being kind, nice. They are human too. No one wants to be treated in a mean way. And the same goes if you've had a lecture with a teacher and you're very happy with the lecture that they did. Send them an email. "Hey miss, I'm very happy with the lecture that you did. You were very clear and precise. Thank you so much for the lecture." If someone offered you a job, be like, "Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was so nice to be interviewed by you and to be accepted for this position." When you get off the bus, "Oh, thank you." It doesn't take much to be nice and be respectful. Like I said from the start, you can be open and honest about your boundaries. That is how people respect you because they can see that you're not messing about. However, it still means that you need to be nice and polite to others. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day or lovely night. If it's 12 a.m., please go to bed. If you have any recommendations on how I can better improve my content to better suit your needs, or you've got any recommendations for future content ideas, that would be greatly appreciated. Like I said before, thank you so much for watching. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So bye!